Hi, Sensei. How are you?
I'm absolutely fine. Thank you very much.
Sensei, my name is Benny Kurian.
Mhm.
I'm a leadership and communication empowerment coach.
Mhm.
I've heard about a wonderful leadership philosophy
Mhm.
that is servant leadership,
Okay.
which I consider has great relevance today in a period of ruthless competition.
Mhm.
Could you please throw some insight into this leadership philosophy? Because from my experience, I understand that you practice servant leadership. Could you please throw some insight into that?
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot, Coach Benny. First of all, let me ask you, when you say servant leadership, there are two words connected or merged together. So which are these two words?
The two words are the first one being servant and the other one is leadership.
Good. Excellent. So which comes first? You said servant, am I right?
Yeah,
So
of course.
here it is a leader who has got a quality of a servant as well as the quality of a leader. Do you agree to that?
Yes.
Well, this was found by a gentleman called Robert Greenleaf many years back, and I believe that he's no more for sure. I believe that he expired in 1990. So
Okay.
when you talk about servant leadership, it's all about servant first,
Yes.
or other words, serving first. Leadership comes after that. So you should
Yes.
be ready to serve people, and you should be like a servant. That's what it means by servant leadership. In other words, it's all about the desire or the love to serve, or the desire to help somebody, or to desire to help others. It's all connected with heart. Like they
Yes.
say, the heart of a samurai, when it comes to servant leadership, it's a heart of a servant. So
Yes.
you should be ready to serve. Now, there are a lot of leaders in the world, living and not living as well, who are and who were servant leaders. Now, could you just pick up one or two that is coming in your mind, servant leaders that's coming in your mind?
Thank you very much, Sensei. Of course, I remember, I consider Mahatma Gandhi, the father of the nation, as a
Yeah.
servant leader.
Very good.
Of course, Martin Luther King Jr., who led the freedom movement,
Yeah.
is still another servant leader.
Yeah.
And of course, world considers Mother Teresa as a servant leader.
Absolutely.
And one more name I would like to suggest is regarding Abraham Lincoln.
Absolutely correct. So what you said was absolutely right. If you take Mahatma Gandhi, if you take Martin Luther King, if you take Mother Teresa, and if you take Abraham Lincoln, all of those leaders are servant leaders because their motto was to serve. If you take Mother Teresa, you know that it was not about any leadership title or anything. It was all about serving people. Am I right? And
Yes.
that is what she is known for. Now,
Yeah.
if you look at servant leaders, there are a few qualities. What are the qualities that you think a servant leader should be having?
Maybe the first thing, as the very name suggests, the first quality that I would like to attribute is putting other people first.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. If you look at, I would call that a selflessness.
Okay.
In other words, it's all about other people, like what you mentioned, putting other people first. It's all about thinking about other people first, not thinking about me or myself.
Yes.
If I take it to the next level, I would say that it's all about 0% about me and 100% about other people. It's not 99% of other people and 1% about me. If you were to be a servant leader, and if you are a servant leader, you will never focus on you. It's all about focusing on other people. And when I say focusing on other people, it's all 100%. It's not about you at all. It's 0% about you. That is servant leadership. What is your thought on that?
It's 100%. I also agree with that wonderful idea. 0 and 100. Usually we people used to say 1% about ourselves and 99% about others.
Absolutely.
But you want to say that you mean to say that 0% about ourselves and 100% about others. Wonderful idea.
This reminds me of a story where Mother Teresa, she goes to a shop to get some rice or something for her people in West Bengal. And the shopkeeper, he actually said no. And a couple of times he said no. And the third time he spat on her face. She wiped it off. And again, she asked for the rice for her people. That means it's zero. I don't bother what you do to me. What I want right now is food for my people. Great. I hope you got it. So there is something which is not there in her. And this is something that every servant leader does not have. What is that one thing that you should not be having?
Is it something connected with ego or something?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's ego. She didn't have that ego. If she had that ego, she would never stay there, and she would never ask for the rice or the food or whatever it is. She would have walked away. Okay. If I were to be there and the ego comes in, am I right? But these people, these leaders are zero.
Yeah,
zero.
Correct.
It's fine. You spat on me, it's okay, as long as you can give some food for my people.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Let's talk about the second quality. What do you think could be the second quality?
The first one you mentioned regarding selflessness.
Exactly.
Right? Selflessness.
Yeah.
And the second one, maybe there are a lot of other qualities, but one quality that I would like to suggest is regarding the skill, the listening skill with the leader.
Absolutely. We call it as the active listening. Am I right? When you talk about active listening, there's a difference between hearing and listening.
Okay.
And this is something I say, whenever I talk about listening, this is what I say. There is a sound of the air condition, which is actually blowing into my ear. I'm hearing that.
Okay.
But I'm not listening to that. I'm listening to your voice.
Correct.
I'm listening to you because I'm focusing on what you are saying. My complete attention, 100% attention is on you. This is not called passive listening. This is called active listening.
Great.
And when it comes to active listening, you also have to focus on many elements. Now, before I go into that, could you tell me, Coach Benny, that is, how do we listen?
The listening should be not using ears. Mm-hmm. Of course, we hear something through our ears, but in fact, listening should be using heart.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So you're talking about connecting people with your heart.
Yeah.
Listen with your heart.
Yeah.
All right. Now here, thank you very much. That's absolutely fantastic. Now we also have to know that you have to listen not only the words that are said, you should also listen to the word that are not said.
Not said. Okay.
Absolutely. And you should also listen to how the words are said.
Yeah.
So let me repeat that. You are listening to what is said, what is not said, and how it's said.
Yeah.
Because when I am talking to you as a leader, what am I focusing on? I'm not focusing only on what you're saying.
Yeah.
Your mouth. I'm also focusing on what your body is saying.
Yes.
I'm also focusing on what your spirit is saying.
Yes.
And I also focus on what your mind is saying.
Absolutely.
That is called listening.
Yes.
Listening is not just focusing and listening to what other people are saying. You have to listen with your heart. You have to connect with your heart, like what you mentioned. You have to focus on the body language, the spirit, the mind, how the mind is working. You have to focus on all those things.
All right.
Okay, what could be the third? Sorry, go ahead, please.
And I heard somewhere you mentioning something about connection and transformation. Could you please say something about a servant leader connecting and transforming people?
Absolutely. When we talk about connecting, the quality is empathy.
Okay.
When you show empathy, when you put yourself in the other person's shoes, that's when you connect with the people.
Yes.
Everyone communicates only if you connect. That's a saying from my teacher, John C. Maxwell. We started communicating from the day we were born, though we didn't know the language as kids.
Okay.
Am I right? But we connected with our mom. As soon as we started crying, our mom knew that I'm hungry and I need to be breastfed.
Absolutely.
Right. And she takes her.
Yeah.
Now that is called connection.
Okay.
You don't need to have the language. Similarly, when it comes to empathy, you don't need to know the language of the other party.
Yes.
The body language will tell that he or she is hungry.
Yes.
The body language will tell that the other person is sad.
Yes.
So you as a servant leader, and you as a leader, even if I keep the servant leadership away, even as a leader, what you are looking at is the body language, the facial expression, the body movements of the other person.
Yes.
And then you put yourself into that scenario, you put yourself into that person's shoes. That's when connection comes in.
That's right.
That's one. And the second one, you spoke about transformation. And the quality for transforming somebody is called healing.
Okay.
Healing. Now, what do you mean by healing?
Healing.
Yeah.
Healing.
Yeah.
Healing, in fact, changing the other person's viewpoint with new ideas, new attributes, new attitudes.
Absolutely. Where do you go for healing? Where would a person go for healing? Usually
we go to a psychologist or a clinical psychologist for the purpose of healing, or maybe if he's a religious person, he used to go to some people connected with that, or to the church or to the mosque or somewhere. Some good. Religious places.
Absolutely, absolutely. Even, do you think that a doctor should also be healing people?
Yeah, sure.
So just imagine that you're going to a doctor.
Okay.
And this is a very busy doctor.
Okay.
Even before you said, what is the problem? And let me use that. It's a negative word. I don't like to use the word problem. However, just to explain for those who are watching us on YouTube and those who are listening to me on podcast, thank you very much for being here. And if you like this show, if you like this question and interaction, the conversation that I'm having with Coach Benny, please make sure that you subscribe, you click on the like button, and make sure that you share this video with others as well. So going back, we go to a doctor, the doctor is too busy, and before you could tell what is happening in you, he would prescribe the medication to you.
Yes.
Now, you take the prescription, you go, and well, everything works out very well, but there was one quality that was missing in that doctor. What is that?
Proper listening.
Exactly correct. Now, you mentioned that people, when they have any sort of sickness, it could be mental, emotional sickness, they go to they knock different doors, whether it is religious or whatever it is, they go and knock different doors. What happens there?
So there is some kind of a transformation happening.
The transformation, the reason for the transformation is listening.
Oh, right.
When you listen, because when you listen to someone who has got pain, they are keeping the pain on you.
Yes, yes.
They are releasing that pain, and the releasing of the pain is called healing. Nothing else.
Okay.
Nothing else. Releasing of the pain, in other words, is called healing. I may not have to say something. I'm not a therapist, but if somebody is coming and calling me and saying, Sensei, can I talk to you for a few minutes? And I say, okay, no problem. Call me at 5 o'clock. And if I'm talking to that person for, let's say, half an hour, what's going to happen? He would say, I'm so blessed. I'm so revealed. Okay. It's like, I'm so relaxed. Okay. What did I do? I didn't do anything. I'm not a magician. I have no clue about it. What I did is I gave my ear.
Okay.
I gave my ears to him, and that was 100%. I gave it to him.
All right.
If you can listen to someone, that person is keeping the whole burden on us. But as a coach, I would not take it. I would not take the burden, and I wouldn't walk with the burden.
Okay.
Got me? I know that. I need to draw that line. However, I would listen to him.
All right.
I would listen to him. And if you are a good coach, if you are a good leader, you should be having the quality of listening to your people. If you can listen to your people, you're not only a leader, but you're also a healer. What is the key word here?
Healer. That will be really very nice. Okay.
Absolutely. If you can heal someone, there is something that takes place. And what is that?
When you heal someone, there will be transformation, connection,
Absolutely.
Transformation. Okay.
Absolutely. There's transformation, automatically the transformation, because the person is no more the same person.
Yeah.
It's no more the same person because he came with a pain.
Yeah.
He came with a pain. Now he's going back, he's returning back, not like the same person. He has changed now. Mentally, he has changed now.
Yeah.
He started feeling that the pain has gone.
Absolutely.
He started feeling, or she started feeling, that I'm being healed.
All right.
You got me?
Yes, yes.
What could be the next quality? I'll take you through the next quality. It's called openness. It's called openness. Very important. Openness of new ideas.
Okay.
Openness of new ideas, values, and contribution. Giving value to the contribution of everyone. If somebody is coming up with idea, you accept the idea.
Yes,
that's what servant leaders do.
Yeah.
If you're contributing something, you accept it. Servant leaders, they seek for opinions from others. They don't do everything themselves. They bring in, they collaborate with other people, they collaborate with their team, the family members, whoever it is, and they'll seek opinion from them.
That's great.
Now, just imagine you're walking into an organization, an office, and at the front desk itself, there is somebody who did not even wish you, who did not even bother, did not ask you to be seated, in other words. How would you find yourself?
It will be, if the other person is not behaving properly, it will be very difficult,
Absolutely. If there came the second person, you're sitting there waiting for the manager or for an appointment or something, and there came the second person. And the second person looked at the first person, who is a counter staff, and shouted on her or him right in front of you, where you are a guest. You just came in to that particular office. Yeah. And the first person did not behave with you properly, and you're sitting there for the appointment time. There's a second staff coming in with some paper sheets or something, looking at the first staff and shouting on her. So what do you understand from this?
That will definitely create a miserable situation there. And that person, maybe he is showing his ego and he's expressing some authority. He want to show his authority, or he's a superior person.
Absolutely. Now I want to take you to two different houses. One house where the family is so polite, and the other house where everything is garbage. Clutters everywhere, not arranged at all, shouting, kids playing around. Don't you think the reason for this is because of the head of that family?
Maybe the head of the family should have influenced his fellow members in a different manner.
Exactly correct. So if you are the head of the family and your family is misbehaving, that means we need to understand that that's coming from you.
Yeah, correct.
If there's a good family, a decent family, very polite family, we should also understand decently kept, everything decently kept. We should understand that that's coming from you.
Yes.
If you go to an office and if you see the office, the people, the behavior of the people, the way that they come to you, they approach you, it's because of the head of that organization. This in totality is called culture.
Yeah, great.
A servant leader cultivates culture, a positive culture, a culture of connection, a culture of trust.
Great.
Did you get that?
Yeah.
What is the thought on that?
Is it somewhat connected with the joint ownership or taking responsibility or accountability?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because as a leader, you are responsible. As a leader, you're responsible, and each and every individual is accountable.
Yes, yes.
You got me?
Yes, yes.
One of the qualities of a servant leader is to develop other leaders. It's not to build followers. No, not at all. It is to build leaders or to multiply leaders.
Yeah.
And how can you do that? How can you multiply leaders? How can you build leaders?
The first thing is that we should inculcate the qualities that are required, and we should definitely give them the required motivation and encouragement.
Absolutely, absolutely. Without motivation, without encouragement, you can't uplift anyone. If you want to uplift someone, you have to motivate them and you have to encourage them. Am I right? Okay. Besides that, in order to unleash your hidden potential, if you want to unlock the hidden potential, if you want to find the gold in someone, that can happen only through coaching.
Yeah, absolutely correct.
And what do you mean by coaching? Coaching is all about asking questions.
Yes,
the best way to build someone is to ask questions rather than giving answers.
Great.
And that's what leaders do. And that's what servant leaders do as well.
Yeah.
They are 100% committed. What's the keyword here? What's the keyword?
Committed.
It's commitment of 100% of commitment to grow the staff member or the team members or the family members or the tribe or the community members, personally, professionally, as well as spiritually.
Okay.
Spiritual, that's very important. Why? Because your name is Benny. Yeah. My name is Sensei.
Okay.
But we are human beings.
Yes.
But more than human beings, we are spiritual beings.
Yeah, we are spiritually connected also.
Absolutely. If I take a stone and throw on you, it's going to hurt you, it's going to pain you, and definitely it could also bleed you. The same thing could happen if you're doing that on me.
All right. But the world is not realizing that human beings are spiritually connected. Now the happenings in Ukraine, Russia-Ukraine war, we are all brothers and sisters. We are spiritually connected.
Absolutely. Absolutely. How many people are being killed over there?
Yes.
Now, what could be the reason for that? If you take away all the political stuff and everything there, you need to know that there are two leaders.
All right.
Am I right? Leader number one, leader number two. One is from from Russia, another one is from Ukraine.
Okay.
They are speaking.
Yeah.
But not listening, not listening.
Okay.
When you don't listen, it'll end up in accidents. Yes. If you don't listen to the authority, or if you don't listen to the rules and the regulations and the law, end up in accidents, fatality, death, fighting, accidents, war, calamity, everything happens. Why? Yeah. Because we didn't listen.
Okay, absolutely right.
Listening is very important. It's critical.
Okay.
Listening to your parents, listening to the authority, listening to your boss, listening to your seniors, listening to the leaders. Listen. If you and I can develop that quality of a servant leader, we can become great leaders, and there will not be fighting. Yeah. Because you should be having, as a servant leader, one quality of a servant leader is patience.
Yeah.
Patience to listen.
Yeah.
Not to jump, not to react.
Yes.
Not to react. Reaction is not patience.
Okay.
Response is patience.
Yeah.
So you sit back and you listen to the other person. You give your ear to the other person, and then you show empathy, go to the other person's shoes and see from other angle.
That's correct.
That's how you grow. So
Yeah.
going back to the topic, as a servant leader, 100% commitment on the growth, personal growth, professional growth, as well as spiritual growth. And exactly correct. And the most important thing that we also have to know here is deputizing someone. Now, what do you mean by deputizing someone?
Deputizing, is it connected with delegation?
Delegation is when it's somewhat connected, but not exactly. It's the same. Okay. Now, when I say deputation is, for example, you, Coach Benny, you will be taking care of that particular region as a deputy manager.
Yeah.
What did I do? It's not delegation. Delegation is to do, delegation is to do a task.
Yeah.
And make sure that you complete the task by XYZ date and so forth. Here, yes. I'm giving you a position.
Okay.
I'm giving you a responsibility, saying that you take the responsibility.
Yes.
You become accountable for it.
Great.
And to deputize someone, okay, we may not be pushing you all of the sudden, there would be somebody. So you will be shadowing the person.
Yes.
A deputizing also means that if I were to be a trainer or a facilitator, I can ask you, you will be taking 2 hours of session, or you'll be taking half an hour of session. You'll be shadowing me.
Okay.
The same thing happens.
Yes.
As a leader, as a servant leader, in order to build that courage and the confidence in someone, they would deputize you in a particular area so that you can grow with full independence and freedom.
Yes.
Because now I'm not there.
Correct.
You take that responsibility of that particular position. So you can build your team, your future leaders through number one is deputizing them, and number two is by delegating task.
Okay.
And as you mentioned, encourage. You got to encourage them to do.
Yes.
When it comes to encouraging people or encouraging your teammates, it's not about you do it.
Yes.
It's about let's do it. Let's do it. It's all together. It's not that I'm walking the front.
Okay.
It's not that you're walking the front. Let's walk together.
Okay.
The other quality when it comes to the leadership, the servant leadership, is that they don't tell.
Okay.
They don't tell, they ask.
They ask.
Telling is like commanding someone.
Yes.
You do that, you do this, there's a pointed finger. Asking is like this. There's a difference. That means you keep your palms open. So the body language itself is different. When you ask somebody and when you command somebody, you tell someone to do something.
Absolutely.
It's all about persuading someone, persuasion.
Yeah.
Do you agree to that?
Yes, absolutely.
And by asking, what happens? You're convincing someone.
Yeah.
You're convincing someone to do or to take action or to do what they want to do, but in the right way.
Okay.
The next quality, which I would say when it comes to servant leadership, is humility.
Yes. Humbleness.
If you take Mother Teresa, or if you take Abraham Lincoln, or if you take Mahatma Gandhi, if you take all those leaders, the examples that you gave, Martin Luther King, and so forth, it's humbleness.
Humble.
Now, the question is, did they have any sort of position?
No.
Did they have any rank on their shoulders?
No title, no authority.
No authority, no title, no position.
Yeah.
These are leaders without title.
Without title.
These are leaders without title. If you say that the father of the nation, did he came up with that? Did Gandhi come up with that? No, people said.
Yes.
People said that you are the father of the nation.
Father of the nation.
Because you are respected, you are honored by somebody else.
Absolutely.
So no rank. When it comes to servant leadership, they don't go for rank. They make sure that the other people, their team members, they move forward.
Okay.
They're so humble, down to earth.
Okay.
The next one, I would say, is awareness. And when I say, when I say awareness, it's all about self-awareness.
About who you are, right?
About who I am. And
Who I am.
And who I am and who other person is.
Right.
It's both. It's about who I am and who the other person is.
All right. Great.
In understanding the other person and valuing that person.
Yeah.
With that ethics.
Yes.
It doesn't matter who you are, which religion or which language, which nationality, which color. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Ethics. You are a spiritual being. I'm a spiritual being. Nothing else.
Okay.
That's the ethics.
Big picture.
Yes.
Seeing a big picture, right?
Exactly correct. Seeing the big picture. And giving you the value.
Yeah.
Giving you the value, whoever you are.
Okay.
Now, to connect with someone in this way, by seeing the big picture, you can't connect someone with IQ.
Yes.
If you are looking up, or if you are talking about servant leadership, it's nothing about IQ there. IQ plays very little role.
Correct.
It's all about EQ.
EQ.
And SQ.
Yeah, correct.
Spiritual quotient and emotional quotient. If you look at Martin Luther King, one single speech, I have a dream,
made a difference.
That made the difference. He was connecting with the emotion of the people.
Yeah.
Am I right? So
yeah,
if you are a servant leader, then that's how you work on. You work on emotions of the other person. You need to understand the emotion of the other person. You should respect the other person. You should know the situation, and you should value that person.
Correct.
You got me?
Yes, absolutely.
The next one is that you are looking not day by day.
Okay.
You're visualizing things beyond that.
In a long-term perspective.
Exactly. When I say long-term, what do you mean by long-term?
No, it doesn't mean, it means not about immediate win or a long-term impact.
Absolutely, the long-term impact. And I call it as the law of intuition. Now, what do you mean by law of intuition? This is something that I learned from John C. Maxwell.
Okay.
Law of intuition is what, as a leader, you feel is the right action, and you take the right action. And in order to take the right action, you have to be a visionary. You should be seeing the end result,
okay,
the far result.
Yeah.
So to see the far result, there are something that you need to know. You need to understand from the past.
Okay.
What happened to you in the past?
Correct.
Or what were the consequences of the past decisions that you have taken?
Yeah.
So you need to understand the past.
Okay.
And you need to know the realities of the present.
All right.
Because you can't just stay in the past. That was past. Now is a reality. So you need to know what is the reality right now, the present reality. And what, exactly correct. And what could be the consequences in the future based on the decision that you're taking now.
Oh, great. So these four things, very important. Understand from the past.
Mm-hmm.
Understand from the past, then realities of the present, consequences of the future, and the decision making.
Yeah, based on the decision making.
Yeah,
it's based on decision making.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So it's all about long term. It's nothing to do with short term. Now, when I say long term, it's about the future.
Yes.
Any decision that these leaders take, they think about what could happen to the next generation. What could happen to our grandchildren?
Great.
It's all about the coming future generations, so forth. They would not take any decision which could have a bad impact on the coming generation.
Great.
If you take Abraham Lincoln, if you take Mother Teresa, or if you take Mahatma Gandhi, they all thought all the decisions they have taken is for a better India, for example.
Yeah.
Humanity, for example.
Yes.
An America without color difference.
Great.
Am I right? Because they were not thinking
Yeah.
about today. They were thinking about what could happen in the future.
Yes.
And that's how they do it.
Yes. Yes.
And they built a community. If you take Gandhi has got a big community.
Yes. Yes.
The Gandhians, they call it the Gandhians, am I right?
Yeah.
They have this charkas and all those things.
You mean to say tribe of
Yes.
people, you know?
Yes, it's a tribe. It's a tribe. It's an ecosystem.
Yeah.
When you say ecosystem, they have everything. Whatever they want. Their food is a particular type. The clothing is a different style. If you take Mother Teresa and the followers of Mother Teresa, they are different.
Yes.
If you take Gandhi and his followers are different. They have this white cap and all those things.
Yes. Yes.
Am I right? They don't wear the normal clothing. They have their own clothes, the white one, and it's made of kadara, I believe. That's what we call. Am I right? What do you call that? What do you call that cloth? The white khadi. Exactly correct. Am I right?
Yes. Yes.
Now these people, servant leaders, when they are in an organization, they never ever act as bosses.
That's correct.
Never. Because they give the complete support to their team members.
All right.
So there is nothing like a boss, and there is nothing like a boss and a staff member. No, everyone's same.
All right.
And the biggest thing is they build trust.
All right. Trust.
Trust is one key area.
Yes. Yes.
If there is no trust, you can't move forward.
Right.
So they trust each other, because if you are a leader and if you want to build another leader and if you want to post that leader somewhere else, you can't do that until otherwise you trust that leader.
Yeah. Great.
So if you look at leadership itself, if I look in this with leadership, you got leadership. Leadership is what? It's influence. It's influence.
Influence.
Nothing more, nothing less. That's exactly the definition given by John C. Maxwell. Right. And to influence someone, you need to connect with the person. Yes. And to connect with a person, you need to communicate with a person.
Yes.
And listening is a part of communication.
Great.
And in order to listen, you need to trust a person.
Great.
I'm listening to you because I'm trusting you.
Yes.
If I got a pain, if I'm coming to you as a healer, what does that mean? I'm trusting you.
Trusting.
If I'm a staff member and I have an issue which has nothing to do with my job, it has something to do with my personal family issue. And if you are my boss, I don't like to call the word boss here, but for our audience to understand, if you are the boss and if I'm reporting to you and if I trust you, what's the word here?
Trust you. I trust you.
Yeah. Yes. Mr. Benny, I got an issue. Can we have 5 minutes talk? And you will not bother to sit with me and to listen to me, even if the issue has nothing to do with job.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
That has something to do with my personal life. However, yes. you are seeing me not as a staff member.
Yeah.
What are you seeing me as? Important question. You're seeing me as a spiritual being.
Yes, yes.
If you see your staff members as a spiritual being, you will respect them. Yes, and when you respect them, that's when I become more accountable as a staff member.
Great.
Because you are taking the responsibility to understand me.
Yes, yes.
Until otherwise you don't take responsibility to understand me, I won't be accountable to what I'm doing.
Correct.
People don't care how much you know. Once again, let me repeat that. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
Great.
So if you want me to carry you, you have to carry me first.
Yes, yes.
So going back, if you want to carry me, you must be very humble.
Yeah.
You must be having ears to listen to me.
Yes, yes.
You must be able to identify my pains.
Correct.
You should be able to put yourself into my shoes.
Empathy. Okay.
If not, you can never be a leader.
Absolutely.
If you can do all these things, you'll become a better leader. Whether you call yourself as a servant leader or not, you can become a better leader if you follow whatever we had in this conversation. What's your thought, Mr. Benny?
Yeah, in fact, I got a clear idea regarding servant leadership. That is, you must be an example. You should set an example. That is the one thing that I have gained from you, the kind of idea.
Absolutely. If I could highlight on that one, let me share my mission statement with you. Okay. My mission statement is to be the best version of myself.
Fantastic.
Because I can't go on this stage and say, Mr. Benny, you should not be doing this and that. All those who are listening to me, you should not be doing that. And if I were to be a leader who does that, okay, that means I'm not a true leader. If I am telling you that you should be doing this, this, and that, I should be the first person to follow me.
Correct.
A best leader is a best follower. A best leader is a best follower of himself or herself.
Yeah.
Even before I tell that to somebody else, I should be the first one to follow me.
Absolutely.
So my first mission in this life is to become the best version of myself.
Great, great.
And to inspire others.
That's
with my
fantastic.
Words and my actions.
All right.
So every word that you use, whether it is on a telephone, whether it's a conversation, whether you're talking to somebody you do not know, even if it's a stranger, I keep that in mind, that I got this 5 minutes. If I can inspire this person, let me, whether it is through my talk, through my action, through my behavior. So your action is very important and your words are very important. I've been blessed with my words. God, my creator, has given me the words to way that I can connect with people. So I use that. So each and every leaders who are listening to us, this conversation, either on podcast or YouTube, understand one thing, you're being blessed. That's why you're listening to us. There are thousands and thousands of people who can't listen. There are thousands and thousands of people who can't see. Thousands of people, they can't do anything. You're so blessed that you're able to listen to us.
Yes.
So use this, give your ears to people, whether it is if you have got a broken family, go back and check, give your ears to your spouse, give your ears to your kids,
that's wonderful.
Give your ears to your parents. If you listen to somebody and rather than reacting, if you could respond to them, that is the biggest healing that you can give to your spouse. There's a healing that you can give to your team members. There's a healing, great healing that you can give to your kids.
Amazing.
There are kids who come to us saying that my parents are not taking care of me.
Yes.
If you had that quality of a leader within the house, you don't require a title. You don't require an education or qualification. Nothing is required for this. I used to think that leadership is something big. When I came to understand that leadership is so simple because each and every individual is a leader.
Yes, absolutely.
We all have that potential within us. We just need to find out that.
Okay.
And if you could find out, I'll tell you, you will be the best of the best leader. If you like this video, please make sure that you share this with others. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe, because my conversation would be something that could help you. And if you want to converse with me, if you want to have a chat with me, you'll find my email address. You just send me an email and let's sit and talk and let others learn from our conversation. Mr. Benny, what's your thoughts before we wind up?
Thank you so much, Sensei. And I must appreciate and thank you for the great work that you're doing as the master coach, coaching thousands of coaches in the different parts of the world, creating a tribe of such kind of leaders. I appreciate you for all the good things that you are doing to uplift the humanity. Thank you so much for the insights, because these things will help me to have a better introspection. Thank you so much for spending your valuable time, precious time. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Benny. Have a lovely day.